here. Yay. Well, welcome everyone to June CEO Days. This is a very, very special, packed, exciting CEO Days, not only because we have so many great new faces, so many amazing friends, but it is planning for the mid-year. And when we are thinking about our businesses, sometimes things are not exactly the way that we foresaw them or planned them to be at the beginning of the year. So now is a great moment to check in. And I want to just kind of put that into your brains today to think about this is a wonderful check-in. We're going to have tons of time to reflect, to plan, but most importantly for all of you to get to know one another and to get something amazing done. So you're not just here to go to an event, you get to actually get things done. People who have come to CEO Days before, they're like, holy crap, I can't believe how much I got done within 2 hours on top of all the other great things. So welcome everyone. We're going to move pretty quickly here. If you are not working with us on a handy dandy workbook because you're not a member yet, I want you to get out a really big notebook, piece of paper. If you would like to last minute purchase the workbook, just I'll put that in the chat right now. Then you can quickly print it out if you wanted to do that. So I'm going to put that in the chat if you need a moment to do that. But every CEO Days, we start with a fantastic brain dump. And a brain dump is an opportunity for you to, hold on, let me get that here. I know I just sent it to Kathy, like literally moments ago. So I want you to just get a big piece of paper. Here, boop. Sorry, I'm like multitasking. Who does that well? So be it. All right, cool. So we have some more people coming in. Awesome. So on the brain dump, this is our chance to really create a wonderful list of everything on your brain. And if you make it 2 or 3 lines, I'm telling you, you're lying. It's got to take 10 minutes for us to totally just unload everything from our brain. Draw a big line down the center of your page. And on the left side, you're going to write all the things that are happening in your personal life. And on the right side, all the things that are going on, swirling in your brain about being a business owner at 3 a.m. You're like, oh, I got this great new idea. That goes on the business side, or deadlines, or events coming up, or anything that you have that's pressing and that's immediate that you need to get onto this piece of paper. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and for members, we're opening up right on to page 2 and 3. And we're going to start our brain dump. Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we open that? Hi, Keisha. Welcome. So we're going to get going. We're just making a big old humongous list of everything that's on our personal and our business mind. All right. Cool. And this is a very workshop style event. So feel free to keep yourself unmuted, chime in or like as if we're in a virtual room together. And then we're going to kind of just make our list together. Okay, everyone? Perfect. And I will set our timer for a few minutes and then we're going to check in. And don't worry, we'll get a chance to introduce each other and get to know one another a little bit more. think of by now anything that you would like to accomplish mid-year. That's absolutely essential to put down, like maybe it's a quarterly tax thing or something in your finances. Maybe you have to reach out to people that you connected with from the last 6 months of networking, and that's something, a goal that you have, and you put something off from the start of the year. So write all those things down. Anything that comes to mind, jot it down. If you feel ahead of the game, right? If you feel like you are pretty full, you're pretty complete with your list, I want you to go ahead and get into this space of thinking, why am I here today? Why do I want to work on my business? And what am I holding this time on my calendar for in order to create more space for the second half of the year? So think about just a general idea of spaciousness around your business. And I want you to kind of think about putting that into like a concise intention for sharing. And I want you to just introduce that to the group in the chat if you feel like you need something to do. So introduce yourself, your name. Well, your name will be on there, obviously. But kind of why are you here? What's your intention of being here? And then as it particularly relates to spaciousness in your business, right? What do you want to hold space for more in your business? More of what? What's important to you? And go ahead and add that to the chat when you can, if you feel like your list is complete. Ooh, Mary, that's a biggie. It's a lot of tasks, a lot of to-dos. But that's going to be so nice to organize all your SOPs for marketing and just kind of like where does your brand touch? Where has it reached? It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, big rebrand, new website. I'm excited. I mean, my current website's only 3.5 years old, but it's outdated
Yeah,
because my services have changed.
right. Yeah, I'm actually going through the exact same thing. I just had my meeting 3 weeks ago with my workflow organizer, and we did like a whole, the Post-it notes, note cards, all that. rebrand, new photos, everything. So
Yep, doing content day on Saturday, websites getting done. I'm like, oh, all my friggin' templates have
yeah,
to be rebranded with a new logo. I mean, it's gonna, so realistically, I'm like, I need to make a list of everything. And if
yeah.
anyone has any ideas, like start shouting them out to me, things I'm not thinking about. And then I need to give myself 2 months, all of June to get the website and everything. And then, just know it's gonna take like 2 months to have this big project done.
Wow, big stuff. Keisha, oh my gosh, a new brand as well. Woo, can't wait to hear about that. It's amazing when
Oh,
you get together because new branding and photos and websites can be extremely daunting. But just hearing like other people are going through this too, it's like, oh, okay. It's amazing when we can outpace our own selves of our own record of like, oh, a website 3 years, like wow, you're creating new things. You're with your
yeah.
own innovation and your own adaptation of the world, you were able to put so much more out into the world than you need the different systems to support that, which is amazing as business owners, right? Awesome.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. Keep brain dumping if you feel like you have got cicadas to sweep up off your back deck if you're here in the Midwest, or you've got, organization projects like I do. Today's my son's first birthday. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. I had a little snafu this morning of like booking a 10 a.m. call for this and then three, like, I don't know. It was wild. I was like, wait, what was I thinking? How did this mistake happen? So I apologize for members that like you're like, wait, I thought this was happening at 10 a.m. But I'm just gonna blame it on my son's birthday because I didn't know what I was gonna be doing today, but it's like we're all here. um so yeah, all those things, right? They impact our business and it's amazing. So what is coming up for you? What's the rest of the month look like? Do you even know? And that's cool too, right? Like openness, spaciousness. We're talking about all these things. So we do know that personal and business completely correlate because we are on our own. We are solopreneurs. When something happens, usually in our families or our groups, it's like we are the go-to people because of our quote flexibility, right? That we can step out and do things. So what does that look like in terms of your business? And how do we need to adapt to those things? So anything that comes to mind, keep adding to that brain dump. This is going to be a core journaling piece for you as you move through this exercise today. All right, my dear friends, let's keep going with the introductions in the chat, which is fantastic. I'm going to invite you now to look at your brain dump list and consider one thing that you really want spaciousness around, whether that's, hey, I need some resources on this, or I need just some time to figure this the heck out. Or perhaps it's, I need a little bit more expansion in this particular line on my list, right? Where do you need space? And space can be interpreted any way that you need, but I'm thinking of the core resources of money, time, energy, and maybe other support or help or, what's the word I'm thinking about? Delegation, right? Because it gives you some space back when you can delegate that to somebody else. So where do you need most space on your list? And put that under your one thing on the very bottom. Just write that out. Like, I need space here. On
I
both.
think we lost you for a second, Dana. Or
Oh,
maybe it was just me.
I'm
You
sorry.
were frozen for a second.
We lost
Yeah.
her.
Oh dear. Okay. Thank you so much, Michelle. So under the brain dump list, you're going to pick one thing. Where do you need the most space? And you're going to write as clearly as you can, I need space with this thing. And we're thinking about core resources, time, money, support is in delegation, or energy, right? I just need more oomph or something, motivation around these items, okay? So put that under on the very bottom as your one thing. We're going at a great pace here, my friends. All right. If anyone wants to share maybe something that they're like getting an aha around just writing it down. Where do you need space? I'm going to invite this up to you all. If anyone wants to share, we are a community here. We want to support you. If there's anything we could do while you share something, anything we need to know as your support team, right? As fellow solopreneurs, entrepreneurs.
I'm writing everything out for the website. So I'm opened up ClickUp because that's where I keep everything. It needs to be organized.
Yeah.
And I'm just starting, I'm late because otherwise it's gonna swirl around in my head, so.
Right.
Update the templates with the logos and the new colors, cause I'm changing everything.
Oh, Mary, holy moly.
Order new business cards, like, oh shoot, I need new business cards.
Yeah.
Which intentionally I'm out, I have like 25 left, so this is all lining up. Order new giveaway products, write out new product services.
You've
So
got
I-
a list, yeah.
I'm just putting it in ClickUp so I can monitor it and delegate.
Yep.
And check it off. I'm a list girl. I
Yeah,
need to write it down so I can be like, okay, and then I'm gonna assign due dates, because if I don't assign a due date,
it doesn't happen. Yep, that's why at the end of this this session today, you all are going to have your goals for the month with due dates, right? Check-ins and due dates. All right, I love that. Add it in the chat if anyone has anything else. We're going to keep moving here to our getting clear section. So those without a workbook, I want you to take a new page, right? The next piece, give yourself space, right? Don't try to cram all this in one little half sheet. I know I'm very eco-friendly, but you know, sometimes you need an extra page. And it helps because your brain needs to see white space. It needs to think. So you're going to put a big cross T in your page, and we are going to start in quadrants. So on the top, we're going to talk about wins and challenges. And on the bottom two, from left to right, we're going to talk about where do you find the most room and where do you feel claustrophobic, right? As simple as it is, as we're talking about physical, energetic, mental space, right? So we're going to start with our wins and challenges on the top. So think back 30 days ago, we were looking at May 3rd, right? Or sorry, May 4th. I'm really bad at the math. Okay, a month ago, right? May 3rd, whatever. We are thinking about what happened in our business. Did we land some incredible sales? Did we close a couple houses if you're a real estate agent, right? Are we booking new clients? Did we go to an incredible event that just opened our eyes of opportunity? Think about all the little things too that happened as wins. Like we personally check something big off of our, you know, honey-do list or our bucket list, right? That's not a small thing at all. But what wins have you experienced over the last 30 days? Roxanne, we are on page 5. We just finished our brain dump and we are on page 5 doing our wins. So you came in absolutely just on time for wins and challenges. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you for joining in. All right, friends. Since May 3rd or beginning of May, however you want to say it, what happened? Was this month as good as you thought it was? Maybe it surprised you that it was pretty freaking sweet. And yes, we will have time to work at 4:15, so you can get all of your to-dos done at 4:15 for those who want to get some things done. I see your message, Michelle. I totally get it. But we will get things done.
I just apologize. I didn't realize the structure and I have to jump off early. So I apologize about that.
No, you do what you can. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad they're here. You will have time to get things done, but if you got to jump, you got to jump. That's totally fine. All right, wins and challenges. If you figured out your wins, come on over, scoot over to the top right quadrant. And what are some things holding you back? What's keeping you up at night? What is the Achilles heel of your business at this moment right now. If you don't write it down, guess what, friends? You'll never fix it. If you can't acknowledge it, look it into the eye, point it out. It can't be something you can work toward the solution of, right? We can't just keep putting things off and say, "Oh, that's not for me," or, "Man, I'm just not good at that." No, listen, you all are incredible at everything. We've seen you all wear every hat possible as business owners. So write down the challenge and it becomes our new opportunity. Okay. Scheduling workouts. I love that. That's so true. Is it time management? I've seen some people come in here and be like, I have no idea how I'm going to get everything done on my list before tomorrow. I don't get it. I don't understand. How do people do this? Is it money, right? Do you have a big payment of something coming up and you weren't expecting? And how can we like crunch out some sales over the next 15 days, right? Before the bills come in? Is that a challenge? Because you can do it. You've done it. You've raised, I'm sure all of you have made millions of dollars from your own two hands since you started your business by yourself. Just you. You're amazing. So put that in. It's your challenge. And you can do it. You can make all the money you need. You just need some spaciousness around opportunity to do it. All right. So past 30 days, wins, challenges. How are you feeling right now? And then as we move down to the bottom half of our quadrant, where do you find room? What pockets of time do you have? You hear about those quotes and things like that say, these billionaires have the same amount of hours in the day that we do. No, they have so much delegation happening. It's insane. However, I will say that where we spend our time, maybe just look on your phone and how much screen time goes to social media. If it's an hour or two that we were aimlessly scrolling, guess what? That's an hour to make sales calls, right? That's an hour to look at our profitability and make some changes on our website, or just catch up with people who we know are great power partners. You have the time somewhere. Where do you think it goes? You have the money somewhere. Where are the leaks, right? And we're going to get really into that during our spaciousness workshop coming up. So where do you think your stuff is? And then if you can scoot over to the right-hand side of that, is where are you feeling most claustrophobic? Where is there no space? Like for me, I'm a mom of two little kids, a 1-year-old as of today and a 3-year-old. I feel claustrophobic sometimes with those nights I don't get sleep or someone gets sick. Thank God my kids don't get sick very often. Or just, the neediness, and I get squished, and I can't multitask as much as I used to. And not an excuse, but it's just on paper, like, hey, this is what I've got. What can I do with this? This is awesome. Let's figure it out. Or I remember when Morgan got your puppy, right? How is puppy doing?
He's great. Yeah, he's actually downstairs, so he's better behaved every day, and yeah, easier.
Oh my gosh.
He's good.
So sweet.
Yeah, he is.
Little baby. All right, friends. If anyone has any wins, I want to hear about them. Let's take a little moment to celebrate. Where are we celebrating you? How are we celebrating you? Have you shown up and changed the world, my friends?
I'll go.
Yay, Lita.
So the win is kind of a win, but it's also my challenge. In the last month, I submitted to a prospective client the biggest proposal I've ever submitted. Like, it was so far out of my comfort zone. Like, I hit send and I had to run away from my computer as if she'd like come out and like grab me and be like, "What are you doing?" I haven't closed that deal yet, but she's still engaging. So it's a win because I overcame a really significant fear that I wasn't worth it. So it's a win, but it's also on my challenge list because I haven't closed it yet. So.
Right. Beautiful. That's huge. And like the audacity of you, right? To like put that number down. But if you never even had that client, you would never even have the opportunity to send them money that like a dollar sign that big. So what do you got to lose kind of thing, right? And what if she says yes, right?
I know.
And then it's like that confidence moving forward isn't like that becomes your new baseline, right? Like
Right.
done it before, I could do it again. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yep. It's the first
Beautiful,
one, though.
Lita. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, wins, throw them at me. Who else has got them?
I feel like a win for me in the month of May, one of them is seeing the appreciation of connections that I have been central to. Introduced someone, there was a potential project for me, and there was a component that I just don't do. So I referred the person to someone else and they ended up working with the graphic designer. And so I've seen her. She emailed me once and then we saw each other at a networking event and she expressed great appreciation for that. And I always like that. And then also feeling and hearing a couple of clients, just in terms of how they felt in working with me,
Yeah.
whether it was a personal brand session or a collective, few months. So those are some wins.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, so good. So glad you're here, Keisha. All right, one more. Let's hear from one more person. What's a good win? I want to learn about you a little more.
I typed this in the thing, but I'll just say I spent Memorial Day weekend making social media posts for like the next 2 months. And it just felt so good to just get a bunch of stuff in the pipeline ready to go. Cause I've got the next 2 months are gonna be very busy with some non-business related stuff. So now I know that part's set.
Yay!
It's great. Yeah.
Did you use one of the dashboards, Sandra? Did you stumble
Uh,
upon- or how did you do it?
It just Canva,
Canva. Love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I have a system if anyone's interested in creating monthly dashboards for social media, email marketing, steal them, take them. I do them for the whole year. It's great. And you could just journal them out and then it's like a copy paste Google document. That's just a way to plan.
Cool.
Love
Very
it.
cool.
All right, friends, we are going to kind of circle back and like, let's talk a little bit about where's your room? Like, if you share where you get room, like where do you find room in your life, right? Maybe that'll inspire somebody else here. Like, oh, I haven't even thought about that, right? So like for me, I know one of the things I'd love to stop doing is it's like working when I'm tired because that always feels like I take so much longer to complete a task. And I'm like, I have so much more room in the morning to like quickly do things. So I'm going to have to wake up at 3 a.m. every day, but you know what? No, but it's just like, it's interesting because like I find more room when I'm not tired to get things done. I don't know how that lands with you, but yeah, where are you all finding room? Where are the pockets of time, energy, motivation, connections? Where can you get spaciousness back in your business? Anyone have any cool ideas?
I actually get it after I do my workout. So,
Ooh.
because I managed to get rid of whatever stress is there. And so I have a clear head and it allows me to, because I've only been thinking about one thing and now it allows everything else to come into my creativity.
Mhm.
And so it gives me that space and then making sure I don't have anything planned after my workout.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it kind of gets cut off.
It's like those connection calls you have after your workout. It's like those people are getting the best prime time with you, like scoot over, right? Or something. Awesome. I even thought about a quote I saw too. It's like, why do we have AI creating our art and our creative stuff when like we want AI to do the laundry and all the boring stuff we hate so we can have more time to create our art, our own art and our own creative things. So AI, like use it. It's there. If anyone has any like challenges with incorporating that into their workflow, let's have a conversation. Like I love helping design people's strategic marketing workflow and how to get more creative in their business. But if you haven't tapped into that yet, why not? Right? That's a huge pocket of spaciousness to kind of take advantage of. Okay, so I gave you two. Come on, bring one more. Who else has got one? Where's space? Where do you find space? Maybe it's physical space. Maybe it's, mental space.
and I think it is a little bit of physical space. Like one of the things that I had to teach myself, which I always tell clients to do, is when you go to work, have something physical there and touch it and say, now I'm at work.
Yep.
And when I leave, especially like home office things, and then you have a different thing and you touch it and say, now I'm at home.
Yeah.
Because if I left to my own devices while I'm at work, I'll do laundry.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And so it forces me to not forces it allows me the freedom to get the work done that I know I want to get done and not just succumb to the distractions of all the other stuff.
Right. That's beautiful. And any distraction can take us up to 20 to 30 minutes to get back on track. Once we get distracted, it is huge sucker of time and space in our business. It's like, it's just interesting that like physical space around us, like I cannot function when things are cluttery and there's stuff everywhere. Like the amount of distraction, it's terrible. It is a claustrophobic piece. All right. So when we look back at our month, really, what does our business look like? So when you look back at May and you're thinking like, where am I at today? Do you have space to bring on more income, another client? Do you have space to call in some help? Like, can you delegate? Can you hire a VA part-time, maybe even? Where do you have some space? So let's just kind of go around, like anyone who wants to share, like, where is your business at right now? Or are you feeling like right now in your life and in your business? I feel like a huge weight has been lifted as of June. Like I was just like, June's here finally. Space. It's incredible. When I made all these themes, I had no idea I was actually directing every chapter of my life for month to month, so like a playbook ahead. It's just like hilarious how this like pours out of me, and it's like exactly how my life is. When I created these like last fall and I did my workbooks, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. So what about you? Are you feeling space? Who's hiring anyone? Who's able to allow a new client? Okay, Morgan, you're getting some help.
Yeah, we've had someone kind of working ad hoc a little bit for us, and now it's kind of expanding that role to so we're meeting actually tomorrow to kind of work through that. So that'll definitely be a big, I think, hope change on our operations admin side, that we'll have someone that's kind of owning that. So that we don't also have to do that on top of all the client service work and everything else. So,
right.
Yeah, just that gear shifting and distractions. Be nice to have someone else owning that.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm simplifying my packages. So instead of having a gazillion, like I'm not doing the career coaching anymore. So that is just like gone. I'll write someone's profile for them, but I'm not doing that. So I'm letting go so I can make space for all the AI work. Cause I'm a certified AI consultant. That's the piece that's not on my website. It's nowhere. I've just been doing it. I'm like, just imagine I could get more clients, right? If I actually put that somewhere.
Can you imagine? Yeah. The space you can hold for yourself with getting rid of junk you don't want to offer anymore. Yeah.
I don't want to offer that since last year. So I let go. We also changed our podcast, which was career focused, to business coaching.
Love it.
and B2B. So I feel like, I
Yeah,
feel like the rebrand, I feel like July, I'm just gonna show up like happy. I'm taking 2 vacations in June. I'm gonna come back like rebrand, aligned with what I'm doing. I love serving my clients. So I feel like I'm allowing myself that space to take, they're like 4-day weekends. So don't get all excited for me. They're not huge, but a 4-day weekend with no laptop,
right.
out of town.
Mm,
And I just made a note, put auto reminders on for my
Right.
email and my LinkedIn.
and your phone, did you guys know that if you go into like, you can
What?
put your phone in drive mode and then it pops back with a message instead of I'm driving now, it could be like, hey, I'm on vacation. I'd love for you to click on this link to whatever, schedule a call later with
I
me.
did not know that.
Yeah, you can customize on Apple, like you can just keep it in driving mode. I know.
Where is that? I want to
Hey.
go find it right now.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
this wonderful another woman showed that to me in a conference because she's a real estate agent and she's like constantly on her phone, like has to get back 24/7, like in an instant. She's just like, I need to put this on. And I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that. So for all of us business owners, right, give yourself
That'd be great during the day.
right, like a do not disturb, but it's actually a great message it'll kick back so then people can see what to do. So yeah, really cool little feature.
Dana, it's fascinating what you said about how distraction it takes you like 20-30 minutes to get back in. Cause like, yeah. So
Yeah.
taking some of those distractions with messages out, that's a great idea.
Right. And most of the time you're directing people to like book an appointment with me. Like, here's what you need. Like, have you considered this? This is where you can find what you're looking for instead of reaching out to me. So make that easier for people to get there. I think they'll appreciate that too. Right? Like, oh yeah, I was looking for that and now I'm here. So whatever you need to do in your business to systematize, we're going to definitely customize this for you all. And that's really, really amazing. Yeah, no laptop. What is that? Ugh, I remember.
You have to unplug. Like I've learned, you have to unplug. Now, Sandra, I'm gonna let you know that right now I'm working a lot because I'm prepping for that. Like all my June content just got, we finished scheduling. Yeah, I'm trying to get like all my stuff done, so I'm not worried about it. And it's 4 days. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
And I don't work with a lot of clients ongoing. So my clients are like one and done.
Yeah.
Like, hey, thanks for showing up. Let me set you up some AI assistants now. Go on your way. If you need me, hire me again. So I think it's a different relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I have
all
a
of it-
question. Oh.
Yes. Go ahead, Keisha, please.
I have a question, since a couple of people have talked about like pre-planning social media
Mhm.
content. I know with so many changes that happen with social media, the online world, how effective do you find it to be to schedule your posts? Because for me, I think about the engagement component of like, it's done, it goes out at 9 or whatever time you schedule it for, but have you found that to be an issue at all or something, an area of challenge?
No. Scheduling your content is a no-brainer. I strongly feel everyone should do that. That doesn't mean that you don't have pockets where you're organically putting a post out. And Keisha, it depends what platform you're on. Like I post on Instagram, but that's not where I hang out.
Yeah,
I'm a
LinkedIn is where she's at.
LinkedIn is where I'm at. My stuff is scheduled. There's at least 4 posts a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that, because that makes sense in terms of the kind of platform too. Yes.
Yeah, so and plus you just go back and you engage later. If you know that you have a post every day that goes out at 7:20, then I'm expecting that you know that you should check engagement in that first hour or so, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely not I used to call it where social media is a room, not a billboard, right? We don't just throw stuff up and then just like walk away, right? Social media is to be engaged and to create, but to do a lot of the heavy lifting before you post, ahead, like when you feel more creative, like you know, when is that time? Like maybe it's at night that you get all like, for me, it's those darn shower thoughts. Like, can I please like have a little thing that unloads when I'm in the shower, when water is on me, like, I mean, like my brain's on fire and I'm like, can I just get all this stuff out right now? I can't bring my phone in the shower because then I'm going to ruin it, but you know what I mean? And it's like crazy, but it's like, you know, when you light up with the way you're thinking about your client, the way that you want to engage. And it's like, wow, how much time do I sit there when I actually do have a quiet room to sit down? I'm like, gosh, I got nothing. I'm spinning. Like, where did all those things go? Like, that's the time to access. So make it easy for yourself of like when you need to activate or like when you need to have, like Kathy was saying, like when you want to talk to people or not talk to people, right? Like know in your world, like what that looks like in your schedule a little bit, if you can. Like, that's definitely a luxury to be able to create your schedule. I'm feeling that now, but like we can start being more intentional about directing our calendar and the way we want to invite people into our world when we need to have spaciousness to do the things that we want to do that's going to make the best impact on the world. So, okay. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all these great tips and ideas. We are going to move forward because I want you all to have tons of time to get stuff done and create the space during our create the space workshop here and after in your work sprint time. So you're going to have time to like actually do some things that are work on your business related. All right. So before we get started, just take a break, take a little deep breath. And I want you to, we're going to do just like a small little guided meditation here, a little visualization, I should say, not a meditation. But I want to invite you to please get comfortable and to create some space in the moment you're in right now. We're just going to take a moment of silence, okay? And I want you to think backwards, counting 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And if anything else in your brain pops up, start back over. 3, 2, 1. You're just going to only think of the numbers. You're going to try to get your head into a very clear, empty room of just absolute openness. And then reassess in your body. Where do you need to shift? Where do you need to move? Where do you need to get a little bit more comfortable? And then what we need to do next is just take a moment to even think a little bit more wide, okay? And then if you can, with this empty room, you have just one big thing or little thing to fill it with in your business that makes the absolute most substantial impact on the world. Is it a gift that you possess? Is it an offering that no one else can touch, that you're so passionate about serving people? Is it an invitation to something? You are focused on that big, spacious room, allowing one powerful key element to you and your business in. And everything else goes. Everything else is gone. And when you think about what you're inviting into that room, I want you really to give it thanks. Thank you. Thank you for being in this room. We need nothing else but you right now. That thing, you're talking to it. And you're so excited that it's there in that room with you. And everything else goes, right? Everything else isn't there. We're not even thinking about what those things are because they just don't exist in that room. All it is you and that big, beautiful feature, that characteristic, that offering, that system, that gift that you possess is there. And that's what holds your business together. That's what you bring into the world as your business. And you have so much space. And you can walk around the room. You can open your arms as wide as they stretch with that beautiful thing in the middle, whatever it is that you invited in there. And you can even do a little dance around it. You can paint, you can create, you can put some chairs for some more people to come in to witness this big, beautiful thing. You have so much space. Is it an auditorium that you're thinking about right now? Is it a giant conference room? Is it the universe, right? Like, how big do you want it to go? You have as much space as you need to invite anything else in that room. And I want you to think of the first thing that you're going to invite is those chairs, people. And then you have, little by little, you're filling it with only things that you really want, but not too much, right? What else do you need in there? What else is absolutely necessary to be in that room? You're designing your big, beautiful room however you want. And you're forgetting the rest. Nothing else exists. It's all gone. And then when you look at yourself in this room, you are so amazed to see you. You look at yourself at your tallest, most stretched out posture. You're comfortable, you're confident, you're alive, you're well rested. You look good, right? You look great. You're wearing your favorite amazing outfit, and you are at the top of your game. You are successful. You are beautiful. And you are not second to that big, beautiful thing in the middle that everyone else is looking at. They're also looking at you. They're also featuring you, right? You are the star, and that big, beautiful thing is your gift, your offering, your service. It's incredible. So you have space. You have so much space. And you have so much room, everyone. And it feels amazing. And when you're ready, I want you to take as much time as you need. I want to invite you back into this space. And I really want you to journal a little bit what it is that you see. Write down what is in the middle. What's the spaciousness for? What are you holding that space for? What do you, and let's again, forget the rest. We're not going to make lists of things that aren't, or the things we don't want. We're just creating the I want, I desire, I see, I believe, I feel, I'm excited for. We're focused on the dream room that we just visualized. So take a few minutes, and I want you to journal as much as you can that pours out. What is this big, beautiful, spacious room have in it? And what do you see? And if you're working on our workbook, I know we don't have like a box for this, but where I want you to write this is, there's a page on page 9. If you're in your workbook, page 9, I want you to write that in there on page 9. And how are you feeling around this, right? What are you specifically pointing out? What is the space that you're giving yourself look like, right? What is it? All right. This feels amazing. So when we go back to our workbook, and if you're journaling, I want you to start a new page. We're going to go kind of step by step on how to achieve this, right? Because I'm not just going to give you guys this visualization and then say, good luck one day, however it's going to happen. Like, I want to get really tangible with you on how to achieve this in the next 30 days. You think I'm crazy, right? It's possible. And most of the time, what's happening is that we open the door, we let in the floodgates to anything and everything. And the boundary of the word, no, you're not invited in this big, beautiful room. You don't belong. This isn't meant for this space. As Jeff said, I touch this and I'm at work now. Like, we can close off and protect our space, protect this big, beautiful orb or a gorgeous stadium, whatever it is, from the things that take away our profit, our passion, our patience, right? Our productivity. We invite things in whether we like it or not. And I want us to get really real on what's creeping in the back door, right? So let's create this space by being very honest with ourselves on how we can do that. So let's do just a quick little analysis on, so we're going to do 5 different categories: lowering costs, saving time, improving accuracy, decluttering the noise, and improving our overall quality and service. And out of those 5 categories, we're going to have 4 little departments, right? Lowering our cost on marketing, lowering our cost on the sales process, lowering our cost on operations, and lowering our cost on admin. Do we need the fanciest, danciest legal software out there? Do we, right? So like, where are the things creeping in that are not wanted and not really allowing us to experience what we just experienced in our visualization? So let's start with, what can we do to lower costs? If you need a cheat sheet and get into your books, you can open your QuickBooks online or look at your bank statements. We're going to go through really quick and look at lowering our costs in all areas and departments of our business, right? Are you overspending on marketing? Like, you're paying for a software or service that you're never even logging into. On your sales, like, are you paying for a CRM or your, just overall, like, spending money on the sales process that you don't need to? How about your operations? Say if you're a photographer and you want to lower the cost of, like, of some of the operating gear that you have, could you sell some equipment that you no longer use, right? And then overall for admin, right? Like, can we lower the costs? And like, sometimes we're overpaying for like things like our Apple storage or Google Drive. And it's like, we don't really need to pay for all these different tools that we're using to fuel our business. Now, if you need more help with this, obviously Roxanne and Kathy are the experts in this. with like bookkeeping and finance and financial freedom stuff. Morgan can help you with a general idea on like cost savings for your overall like business and life savings. So I am not the expert in this at all. They are, and they can definitely help you create some space financially, which would be super amazing. And you know, 3 people in this room who can help you. Okay, so jot some ideas down of like, where can we create space where like getting rid of that money workflow waste? Is it going out the door and it's not needing to be spent? That's a great thing that we can have as an analysis right now. Okay, the next category is saving time, my friends. We did a little bit of that, of like, check your screen time on your phone. Where are the apps that you're spending the most time? I think your computer can do that too. There's probably a tool out there, and correct me if I'm wrong, of like, where are you spending? Like, are you on Facebook on your laptop too much or whatever? And you're not a social media person like me, right? Like, I actually need to be on Facebook. That's part of my job. But like, I think there was a statistic where it's like, yeah, like 40% of people in the workforce like are just waste their time on Facebook because they are just wasting company dollars on social media that they're not the social media people. Do you know what I mean? So saving time in your marketing we just talked about that, automating a little bit of your task, you're scheduling your post ahead of time. Saving time in your sales process. That's one of the most like amazing things that I can share with you, is like, come up with your questions ahead of time. Vet your leads, right? Make sure that before you have great, awesome sales conversations, you know they need it. You know they want it. You've already vetted them. In your operations, save time by creating SOPs, standard operating procedures. It's literally like, if you can do that, like 2 of them a week, of like, you do something, the same thing over and over and over, write it into a Google Drive document or a Google Doc. You can put, hey, an SOP for, right? Writing a contract, and like, what do you need to write a contract or create a proposal? Like, there's a lot of steps in doing what you do. I'm just kind of giving you an idea, and just like, create a standard operating procedure so you know how much time it's going to take, all the steps, and you don't have to go back and reinvent the wheel every time. So if you know you need to make a poster for an event, or or you're like, hey, I'm going to push out an event. What is the standard operating procedure for hosting and promoting an event? It's just step by step every day, A through Z. It's there, 20 minutes and you're done, right? Save time. And then in your overall admin is like, how many times do you go back and you're redoing your budget, or, you know, you're saving time? Just like, I don't even know what I would do in my admin that I could save time in, but just, you know, just like going in and looking at your website or your billing, like, okay, you have a credit card coming up, like, I don't know, save your password somewhere safe, like, right? All those little things leaks time. All right, we're going through step by step. Journal whatever feels good to you. Write this down if you don't have the workbook. So the next category is improving your accuracy. Again, what can you do to be more accurate at what you do? So how can you be more accurate in your marketing? How can you be more accurate in your sales conversations? How can you convert people, right, in your sales a little bit more? Like get even more accurate at every step of running this business, getting more accurate in your operations. How do you stop redoing things, right? I know Jesse is a designer, and it's like, how do you get more accurate at all the revisions that you send to a client? Like, do you need to just jump on the phone for another 5 minutes to make sure that you understood what they really wanted before you went into a whole nother designing version, right? Like, wait a second, I'm not super clear on this. Let's just like have a quick phone call, you know, pick up the phone and be like, okay, did you really mean this color or that color, right? Like, sometimes those things, we waste time because we want to be efficient and be like, oh, I don't want to bother them. But actually, like, a whole nother revision is a whole nother day or two, right? Like, could that really save you time? If you're a graphic designer, for instance, improving your accuracy on your admin, right? The same thing. Like, do you just go about not knowing your numbers and not really knowing what's going on? Being here at CEO Days is improving your accuracy at your admin every week or every month, because you're you're pulling up all the stuff and we're looking under the hood about like what's accurately true about how you're running your business. So just being here is actually helping in that category. All right, we have 2 more. I know I'm like rambling these off, but for those of you who are inspired by this, we have yuckies creepers that keep coming in our beautiful, gorgeous space. We need to assign a place for them to not be, right? So decluttering your noise and negativity. How many of you have negative thoughts about, can I really do this? Am I worthy? As Lita mentioned earlier, so huge, right? How much time do you waste worrying about not being worthy of being a business owner or not being enough, right? How much time and energy does that, like, that's not invited in our beautiful, big, gorgeous room of spaciousness and abundance and just overall world-changing impact. That's not welcome. Okay. It's very hard to do, but every time we have those thoughts, how can we do it, right? How can we get them away? Do we need to call a friend? Do we need to call Jeff and have a session and like be like, how can I access my joy a little bit more in this? Right? Go back to your rebrand, all those things. So think about that in your sales conversations. Do you stutter along? Do you not do your research ahead of time? Do you feel like you end up saying yes to something you really needed to say no to in a sales conversation because you thought that you just weren't worthy enough, or you heard the noise of their their own money mindset and you let that impact you and your worth? It's not invited in that room. Get it out. So if you find yourself doing these things, just go back to that feeling of how beautiful that room is. You deserve it. You have it. It's yours. We could just say it's not welcome here because it's eliminating us from having that space in our life to do the things we need to do. All right. And then last but not least is overall improving the quality and the service of what you're doing. And most of this comes from when we think about improving the quality and service of our marketing, sales, operations, and admins. Sometimes it takes listen to podcasts, sharpen up on your skill, right? Take time to be even more passionate about the expert that you are. Follow leaders who are doing amazing things in the fields and the industries that you're doing and be like, I'm closer and closer to improving the level of service that I can offer because I'm getting more knowledgeable. I'm offering more resources than I've ever thought possible, right? And those things aren't a waste of time. Sometimes when I'm on Instagram, I'm definitely following leaders and getting inspiration and learning new things. It's not just me mindlessly scrolling. I'm actually doing something to improve the quality of service and doing some research, looking up data, looking up information that I need to in order to do my job better, right? So that's different from improving accuracy because it's giving you a little bit more of a qualitative approach than quantitative and the improving accuracy, if that makes sense. If you're kind of confused and well, Dana, you talked about improving accuracy on this, and then now you're talking about I'm talking about the quality and the service. How many of you take customer service surveys from your clients? You do an exit interview. You really ask them, is there anything I could have done better to help you? And if you don't have that opportunity with your clients and the people that you're working with, that's a huge missed opportunity to improve. You can go blind in the wrong direction for a lot of new miles, right? If you're not figuring out where did I possibly do wrong or, upset somebody. And if that's consistent, then it's something you probably have to fix, right? If it's just somebody who's being weird and mean and a bully, that's not your problem, right? That's theirs. Okay, so we talked a lot. We had a visualization. This was really powerful for some. I want to hear from you because I am very tired of talking and my brain is hurting because that was a biggie. But for you, what does your new space look like, feel like? Let's talk about the exciting things, right? Because you jotted down some what we don't want, but what does it look like for you? What can you do different? What are some next steps, some aha moments, some takeaways? How did this feel? Was this accurate or spot on for what you needed to go into the second half of the year? I promise you're gonna get some work time. I promise. You're gonna get stuff done, my friends. All right. Shoot them at me. What do we got?
Yeah, I think it was a helpful like couple of things that have been swirling around and just helping identify those certain areas of like what's going to be covered by this new person. What will that allow us to do? And yeah, just kind of putting that down on paper has been helpful. So yeah, just laying out kind of what those task responsibilities are going to be and then what, we have to do. I think our biggest thing is holding ourselves accountable to the tasks that we need to do every week or every month and making sure that we're actually time blocking those and putting those on the calendar and treating it like a true client meeting or something like that.
Yeah, it's not just like that. Well, admin happens when it has to happen. It's like without admin and teamwork and team meetings, like nothing happens actually, right? A lot of chaos can unfold. Morgan, what feels really central to your spaciousness? Like, what are you holding space for? I know, like, I guess what is like a big goal you had or a focus?
As far as like clarity space or
yeah, like what do you, when you thought about the visualization, like what was in the middle of the room?
I was struggling with that one. It was not going well, but but I think the biggest thing as far as like holding has something I thought for a while like I wanted to be like very busy and then I realized that like that's a real struggle. So I've now tried to push a lot spending time on the back and forth on scheduling meetings and such.
Yeah.
So that's been helpful, but then I needed to add buffers to those meetings so that I have at least 15 or 30 minutes, depending upon the length of the meeting.
Yeah.
So that I can get done tasks, summary emails, etc. So that's been really helpful. I think I also just need to like block out like this is like go to the gym or do yoga or go on a walk or whatever. Because I have not done that, but that's obviously like a better way to like balance out and center myself. And it was funny when you said that about the admin because I know I'm a little old school, but I've got like paper folders and things of like things that go through. But my admin, I purposely put red because I was like, well, you bleed out if you
Yes.
don't get the admin stuff done, but like it's not like a revenue generating thing. So that was just a funny coincidence, I think that you had referenced earlier.
It's like crazy. Like we as just a culture are moving away from screens as much as we can. So like anything we could do on paper now, it's like hilarious. It's like I like hence our workbooks. Like just can't like I don't want to look at the screen. I just want to like look at a piece of paper sometimes, right? It's so whatever you need to do to like not get distracted, like sometimes that helps. So I love that you say you got your like old filing system. It's great.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's huge. And the calendaring, time blocking, like all those things, like how can you say you're overwhelmed and your mental health is like going the wayside if we're like, wait, when was the last time I just like took a moment out of my day to go on a walk, to do something for my health? Like, of course it's going to be terrible, right? Like we look at our day and it's like, we just grinded every day, all day. There's no space for you to even have a thought or a moment where your body can catch up. So amazing. I love that. Who is excited about what's in your spacious room? Who else wants to share anything? What did it feel like? Anyone think that they have like a crazy idea? I want to hear it.
I don't know if it's a crazy idea or not, but I always like visualization because it's a kind way of backing us into what's available for us and what we can do. And, one of my favorite memes that pops up all the time says basically, recognizing that abundance is all around us and what we create are limitations.
Yes, right.
And all that talk around, anyway, the visualization allows us to free away all those comma buts and limitations and time and money issues. So what what I ended up with in the room, and it fits with my intention when we started, was I'm doing a video series, and it's on some of the more basic things in the work that I do. But I get bogged down because I want to tell everybody everything and recreate everything exactly the way it is right now. And I
Yeah.
don't need to do that.
Right,
It's just very basic stuff. And
Right.
just recognizing that and doing it.
right. It's so easy to think like when we center something in the room and we're like, okay, if we had so much space to make this thing as amazing as it needs to be, which is our core service, our core gift, our core offering, you realize that like so many other things, like, oh, I got to start a podcast, I got to do a newsletter, I got to do all this other stuff. Like, is it supporting that idea, or is it like taking the people and be like, wait, I got to shift my chair this way because this is going on now, and oh, I got to go over here, and it's like it's making the whole energy of the room, which is your room, which is your demeanor, which is keeping control of it all, holding space for the things that need to happen, and it makes it go crazy, right? So I love that. Just like focus on what's in the middle and then hold the space around it to let that flourish and just grow and ignite, right? Whatever it is that you really truly want. I guarantee this is going to really help all of you take whatever you're offering and then just streamline the rest of the year. Like if you focus on growing and fostering that growth of that thing, the rest of the year, you will have your sales and your outcomes just skyrocket because you are not distracted by all the other things coming in that, I mean, you don't even need to work 40 hours a week doing this, even just 15 hours a week, really fostering that growth. It's going to make everything incredible for you, whatever limit or whatever limitless potential you want to set on your business, right? Millions of dollars a year, whatever you want, friends. And this is going to be more difficult than others. I know there's a lot of clutter and negativity and noise in our personal lives, our families, our friends, our own like sense of self. But these are just things I want you to be aware of, is like we can work on those things in order to have a goal to do more with the space that we have at work, okay, for our business. All right. Whew, biggie stuff here. All right. Well, I want to invite you all to either continue this work and getting productive time or working on something you absolutely need to get done that is crucial to running your business for this time. So think about, you're not doing the everyday stuff. Like when you sit down on your computer and you're going through and you're responding to all the other client stuff that everyone takes up your time. This is your time to grow your business. What is essential that you need to do to grow your business? So in our getting productive time, I want you to really use this time, protected time. Take that visualization and say, you know what, today's day one that I'm really going to create the space to make this a priority. What is that thing? Thanks so much, Deb. We'll see you soon. So let's go ahead and take a moment to think about what that is. If you're not very clear, go ahead. Okay, it says my connection's unstable. Can you all hear me okay? Okay.
You're back. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
You cut out for a little bit.
It's like crazy. I like see you guys and all of a sudden it pops up, but take a minute to just get clear on what it is that you want to work on and write it in the chat. So we want to hold some accountability here. So what is it that you're going to do during your getting productive time? And then at a quarter to the top of the hour, so 4:45 Central, we're going to come back, finish our 30-day plan, and then we're going to wrap up. So what is it that you're going to do in the next 30 minutes that's going to just completely move you into the next level in your business? Go ahead and write that in the chat. And for those of you in CEO Days as members, give us some examples for all the newbies that you have to do. Okay. Mary was feeling it. She's like, I gotta go make calls. So yes, please hang on till the end because you are gonna create your 30-day plan, which is so amazing. And okay, so good. So content creation and Asana, that's amazing. And for those of you who are interested in a little bit more about kind of like going deeper into the marketing side of things, especially if you want to have a little bit more of like a system, a plan. This is actually what I do to help clients and to support my clients is with my marketing accountability and support with tools such as my dashboards. So if anyone's looking for a little bit more of that, I invite you to, you know, just kind of PM me, direct message me. I'll be following up with you all and just checking in to see if you need any support with that. It's because I see a lot of marketing talk, and if any of these things from the lowering cost or lowering or improving accuracy in your marketing is just feeling like a big question mark, that's where I can really help you out. All right, perfect. All right, my friends, we are going to go ahead and you can turn off your camera and your mute yourself, and you can go ahead and get to work. And if you have any questions, just stay on here. We're going to bring you back into the room, but if you have any questions, just go ahead and chat me, okay? Let's get to work, my friends. All right, friends. It's like a fun little way to be like, announcement. All right, I want to hear from you all. How did that go? Was that kind of fun to get things done? Did you actually do it? Yeah, great.
Yeah. Made a new little handout for my clients.
Wow. It's amazing when we get motivated and we have this time with a little timer on it, how much we can get done, right? I love it.
Yeah, I also created a new form and updated a workflow and found an error in my workflow. So I was able to fix that. You know, it's like a snowball, but I'm really close to hitting send on this. So got it out.
Amazing. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. So our last and final version, so we got to create the space, we got to do that. And then now the last and final piece is creating a 30-day, oh, why is it blurring it? 30-day action plan. Woo. Okay. So on our 30-day action plan, as you see, I just kind of have a couple lines. Jeff, go ahead and hold up your awesome workbook. He's got it. So if you want to become a CEO Days member, you get your own hardcover workbook, you get extra work sprint time. We do an extra work sprint in the month so that it's time like we just had. We have a LinkedIn community if you wanted to share anything and network in there. And it is a pretty substantially tiny amount compared to how much we give in terms of time in this program. So definitely consider if you want to join as a member. It's not too late. You still have the whole half of the year to join or as a member. And then of course, I'm going to be sending out a survey for topics for next year. I want to hear from you on what you think you'd want to cover in CEO Days, as well as I'm designing next year's program. So it would be awesome if y'all can take a moment when you get your survey tomorrow to fill that out. All right, so without further ado, our 30-day action plan, these are the columns. Ready? Goal, due date, next step, and any other asks. So if you want to write that down, goal, due date, next steps, and then any other asks. And asks means like you're going to delegate, or you're going to reach out to somebody, or you're going to totally get a resource to be able to help you do what you need to do to get this done. And maybe make as many lines as you want, but we typically have 4 main goals in CEO Days. So if you are willing to take just about a couple minutes to put what are your goals for the next 30 days until July. Our next one is July 1st. So also mark that down on your calendar at 9 a.m. Central Time. Sorry about that. My Pacific time people, I know, I'm so sorry. Wake up early, it's worth it. Then you'll be done before anyone else gets up, right? The pleasure of growing a business. So it's all talking about the pleasure of being a business owner, how we can feel better about this, and creating a little bit more, profitability in that. All right, so let's go ahead and take just a moment to write down our goals, and then we'll just ask for some takeaways. If anyone has any ahas, takeaways that they've got out of today. You know, we have a lot of new faces here, which is so exciting. A lot of first-time CEO Days members, visitors. We'd love for you to join as a member. So go ahead and write your goals down. So that's what the goal is, what the due date is, because again, as Lita, I think it was you who said that if we don't put a date on it, it won't get done, right? If I'm, or somebody
I
said
said
that.
it in the past. I don't think I said it on this call.
Was it you, Sandra? I'm sorry. Somebody in that quadrant in my screen. And then your immediate next step, and then what other asks you have. What other asks you have? And I hope one of the goals that you squeeze in is to somehow make a visual cue of that awesome room. Maybe you even just take a little paper diorama on your desk and you're like, just remember the room, the spacious room, my boundaries of what we're not inviting into the room, right? I'm sure you can like origami it with some paper. That'd be kind of a fun little project. All right, and if you are curious, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat to our membership if anyone's interested in joining. It's $150 for the year. You get our fancy notebook in time before July's event, and that will cover the rest of the year as well as all of our meetings, our extra time, and all the great benefits of all the recordings. So if you want to watch from the first month all the way up until now, you get all the workbooks and all the recordings. If you want to go back and see what other stuff I've been talking about the rest of the year, that's a great opportunity to join. As well as, you know, the next event is what I wanted to share with you too. If you were interested in joining our July event, I'm going to go ahead and put the sign up there, The Pleasure of Growing a Business. And with that being said, I need to hear from you all. Let's go one by one. What are some of the biggest takeaways you've had coming to CEO Days today? So let's start with you, Sandra. What's one thing that you took away today?
You know, I like the visualization and thinking of what's in that room, because I realize what's in that room with me is better client handouts, just like improving what I'm offering for clients. So that, and yeah.
I love it. How did CEO Days go? Was this kind of fun? Did you get stuff done?
No, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll see you next month. All right, Lita, what did you think? Any takeaways and ahas from you?
So for me, the biggest was when I made the list of the personal and business stuff, like the brain dump. It was just, it's kind of like when you do spring cleaning or when you just kind of, you're carrying that burden around with you. And when you write it down, then you make space for other things to come in, but it's nice to just get it out of my head.
Yep. Access that anytime and every time. Sometimes I just make a little note on my phone. I need to just like brain dump it out. It's such a great tool. I invite you all to have that in your life on a regular basis because it's such a de-stressor for sure. Kathy, this was your first time here. What'd you think, my friend?
It was really good that definitely like the visualization and there was something that I've been trying to get clarity around and it helped me get closer to that. So that was very helpful as well. And I actually, unfortunately, I had a sales tax issue come up while we were on this. So I was like, I'm going to take that time to deal with that. So
Good.
I was able to do what I could do and that was it. So
Yeah. Well, sometimes those things come up, but you know what? Now it's done. And
Yeah.
you still didn't have to leave us early, which is great.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, Jesse, Roxanne, and Jeff, what'd you think?
It was great. I liked the visualization exercise a lot. Mine was instead of building on something that I currently have, it's a total pivot. So it was just a room with an easel in it. And so I've been thinking about for a while how I can help small businesses or small business owners who are experiencing burnout with some art therapy. And yeah, so I started mapping that out and doing a little research on what would need to happen in order to make that part of the business.
I have someone to introduce you to who does something of the sort.
Oh, fantastic.
Dr. Manette, and she's really cool. And she does a lot of really fun things. So I will make an introduction for you with her because she may know some things and you might do something different, but just a starting point, someone to get inspired by, because she does a lot of that kind of work.
Awesome.
So fun. I'm excited for you. That's gonna be so nice. And I think she's out in the West Coast too. So she's
Oh,
close.
perfect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Who's next? What did I say? Jeff? Or Roxanne? Roxanne.
Okay, I'll go. I always like the brain dump. What that kind of reminds me of is you had spoken to earlier, Dana, that you get for some unknown reason really inspired with ideas and all of that stuff when you're taking a shower. Taking walks, that's when my brain goes like crazy. And so I like the brain dump because it's kind of a way of, okay, I can't be on the walk, but it's another way of clearing out all of the noise and crap that is stopping you from having all of those great ideas. Because I do, when I'm out walking, you start going and then it's like things just start popping. And I've started where I record, okay, this. So the brain dump is, that way of getting that without physically either showering or taking a walk. So it's a good thing.
I used to do that in my car and like I had so much footage that I kept to like the beginning stages of being a business owner, like before I even came up with CEO days. Like I had a drive and then I was like this and I'm just talking in it and people are and it's like it's all like broken like thoughts and ideas. But when I used to be by myself driving, oh my gosh, the best stuff comes out. So I get it. Showers and driving, all that's shower thoughts. All right, Jeff, anything good that came out of today for you?
Well, I like the visualization piece for the same reason Roxanne liked the brain dump, because it helped clear out all the stuff. And when we got to the end, I had 4 very clear goals that I didn't have to debate in my head. It was just, they just became more clear as the 2 hours went on. So appreciate it.
All right, y'all pressured me now. I got to be doing more visualizations. So it's kind of fun because next month's all about like the pleasure of growing a business and it's really about creating a new vision. So I will have another visualization next month. So July 1st, we'll see you all there. And with that being said, I will all see you next month. Please take care and enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. All right, everyone, have a wonderful one. We'll see you then. Bye.